The main hurdle remains sales. This was another mixed bag for Macy's, and I think it's really the theme across the department stores. Legacy brick and mortar models continue to be under pressure. So same-store sales were up low single digits, but gross margins were down over 100 basis points. Gross profit dollars continue to be down mid-single digits. What's holding the stock up today is the outlook. You had $300 million of SG&A savings outlined for 2019. And that allowed them to guide the earnings in line with the street.
Is that the right strategy, Matt? I mean, obviously, you're always looking to run more efficiently. But when I think about the success Walmart has had by investing heavily and that little sheet that Doug McMillon carries around to make sure that he doesn't become the next big retailer to go by the wayside, what do you think is the long-term plan for Macy's here?
The reality is it's their only choice. I think all of these models need to continue to invest because retail's changing faster than it ever has. And so the reality is you need to win on value and you need to win on convenience. And the question is, how do you do that if you were built as a brick and mortar retailer and now you have brick and mortar moving to e-commerce again at the fastest pace that we've ever seen? You have the battleground is fierce. Amazon continues to gain share. You know, you talked about TJX coming up tomorrow. The off-pricers are gaining a tremendous amount of share. And so, you know, the brick and mortar models are just under siege, and it's going to continue for a number of years.
I think one point to add to what Matt is saying is that Macy's has tried to do its own off-price model within the store, but what they've found is that it is increasing spending, but with the shoppers that are already there. So it hasn't really brought in a new shopper. And that is another one of Macy's hurdles right now. They've got very loyal shoppers, these platinum level shoppers. They're responsible for 30% of the sales. So they spend a lot, but it's that occasional shopper that they need to work on grabbing in.
Are you guys getting any read-through to what's happened with the consumer the last couple months? Great confidence data this morning, or certainly better than expected, and yet that December retail sales report looks like less of an anomaly given how bad the housing starts report was in that month. Does it go back to weather court, or what's going on here?
So at least when I talked to Jeff Gannett this morning, Macy's CEO, he says that he thinks the consumer is healthy, but he's watching it. He feels like there is some noise in the data. And then when I talked to CFO at Home Depot, Carol Tomei, she says she believes that the housing market is what she would call stabilizing. So we went through this a period where it was really accelerating, and now it's stable.
Matt, last word to you on this as well.
Yeah, and the consumer narrative definitely appears to be softening a touch. I think the reality is, and what Courtney cited with the occasional customer is exactly what's happening. So the last 12 months, you had an underlying macro dynamic in 2018 that benefited retailers versus 2017. You've now fully lapped that, and I think we're back to an even macro playing field. The question is, you know, do we take a step down? But even if we're stable, I think the benefit underlying is less so than it was a year ago.